Warning: the following broadcast may contain content deemed offensive, and the views and opinions expressed by the host are not shared by the Redline Radio Network or most sane human beings. Continue at your own risk.
Coming at you on the Redline Radio Network. All right, grab a cold drink, pull up a chair. You're officially hanging with Deez. Got a cheap mic buzzing and a six-string wheezing, talking live, talking sports and whatever gives us a reason. From Sunday football to a hot new game, if it's loud or ridiculous, it's all the same. No script, no rules, crank it up and see. Welcome to the shit show. You're hanging with Deez. Hanging with Deez. Yeah, the bullshit's free. Laughing too loud like a bar at 12's no 3. Hanging with Deez. Hot takes flying, somebody's always wrong. One man, one mic, one kick-ass song.
Hanging with Deez.
Where the takes are hot and the filters are broken.
Deez says the shit that probably should have stayed unspoken.
Now, let's hurt some feelings.
Here's Deez.
All right. Good Saturday morning, everybody. I am Deez. Welcome back to Hangin' with Deez. Been a while. First time we've had this show in over 2 years. So some things are going to be different. Obviously, we are in new platforms, new places, old places. So yeah, we're gonna mix it up quite a bit. This show's not going to be anything in particular. It's more of a reintroduction. I'm hoping to eventually reach the past and the present, and then obviously the future with new platforms. So let me go through a few things first. What is this show going to be? Well, it's hopefully going to be something that is ever evolving, kind of like a variety of things based on shit I like. Obviously, I'm a big sports fan. I try to be funny, and I'm a huge gamer. What up, Nell? So we're going to do a little bit of everything on here. Eventually, I'm going to set it up for game streaming. We'll get into that later. I've got a lot of rearranging and renovating to do here in my home studio before I get all that going. But let me address a few things first. If you're around from the old El Donzo and Deez days, Donzo and I are still cool. We work together every day. Hell, he may even make some appearances on here every now and then. I got a lot of friends that are sports fans that either have already been a part of this show or I hope to have a part of this show, including you, Nell. So we'll talk all kinds of sports, primarily football, and obviously primarily Steelers football, but not too much for the simple fact that I do the Steel City Renegades show along with Dynamite Dave, which will be coming up tomorrow morning and hopefully every Sunday throughout the season. I'm not going to be absent from Unscripted, also here on Redline Radio. I won't be on Unscripted every week, but I'll be on there quite a bit. And then as far as this show's schedule, the schedule is I don't have one. There's going to be days that I decide to just go live, whether it's something big happened, breaking news in sports or entertainment. So I might just turn it on, go live for 20 minutes, or I might come in here during some off time and complete an entire episode and actually put some production value behind it and then just throw it on the channels from there. Going to be a little bit of everything. One thing I do want to say with heavy heart, if you watched the old Hangin' with Deez shows in its last iteration, my co-host at that time was a friend of mine. And if you watch the show, you know him as Bubba, but his name was Brent Collins. And unfortunately, Brent passed away in a tragic accident on May 31st. So just want to give a shout out to Brent and his incredible family. I'm going to miss him. He was a lot of fun. And we had always talked about getting back in and kicking the show back up, and things just never kind of came to fruition. And then, he basically passed in a horrible car accident on May 31st. So thoughts and prayers out to the Collins family. Brent, we're going to miss you. Thanks, B. Nell, sorry, B, using first letters. Anyway, also, if you go way back, you may remember I used to do the show with Hunter and Dylan. Plan to have them on at some point as well. And basically, we're just going to kind of shoot the shit. One thing I do want to say I'm going to try my very best to stay out of, and that's politics. Now, if there's something incredibly stupid that I want to address, regardless of what side of the aisle it comes from, I will. Those that know me know I don't really have a filter. So if it offends somebody, well, that's the reason I have the warning at the beginning of the show. But we'll try and steer away from that. I want this to be more fun, lighthearted. Again, sports, video games, movies. Speaking of movies, going to check out Spider-Man. Brand new day today. I'll get to that here in a little bit. Kind of funny side note with the whole leak thing that happened last night. And again, gaming. I am a big gamer, mostly on Xbox, but I do have a PC set up for gaming. And eventually I'm going to do some game streams just out of boredom. I'll probably be doing some GTA, perhaps some Gears of War when it comes out. And the one game I don't plan to stream right now, and I probably will have a whole episode on it, and that's NBA 2K, which has been a huge part of my gaming life for the last 5 or 6 years, as my man there in the comments, Nell, can attest to. But they've broken me, so I don't think I'll be on that game much this year. So anyway, again, going forward, there won't really be a schedule. That's why I would appreciate it if whatever platform that you're on right now, if you give me a follow. You can also search for me on the other platforms. If you could like, share, follow on those as well. They include the blue F, the red play button, and the purple logo as well. I don't know what the rules are as far as shouting out other platforms, but you know how that goes. So today, again, just kind of a get to know you, get to know me, that kind of shit. Let me turn this on so I can get a little groove going in the background. I will be on an unscripted right here on Redline coming up in about 45 minutes or so. Not sure what we're going to talk about on there. That is kind of a Northeastern Ohio-based show, so they talk a lot of local stuff there, but we also get into national stories, national news, and then just a group of guys shooting shit. So I encourage you to check that out. Also, if you're football fans, Steeler fans, Steel City Renegades comes on not only here on the Redline YouTube channel, but also on the Steel City Renegades Facebook page, as well as my Hangin' with Deez pages. And we'll go from there with that. Possibly have some big things happening with that show. If you watched us last week, you may understand what I'm talking about. We may have a semi-permanent guest on the show who happens to be in possession of a Super Bowl ring. Hope that all works out. Now, again, this is just going to be a real short thing, so I can get ready for Unscripted. I just wanted to get this fired up, knock the cobwebs off, test everything out, get her going. But one of the things that I did come across this morning, being how we are gearing up for football season, Training camps are open. Most teams are in their first week. I know that my Steelers started camp on Wednesday, so I'm just absolutely geeked on that. So a lot of my content is going to be based on football, of course. But one thing I came across is this meme, and it is very interesting to kind of go through and see what other teams' fan bases feel about other players across the league. So we're going to go through that right now. All 32 teams, apparently there was some kind of poll somewhere where they asked fans of all 32 teams who was their most hated NFL player, rival, whatever. So we're going to bring this up. Take a look at this. So this it is. And it's funny that they got Aaron Rodgers on there. You would think that I made this, but I didn't. So this is the player that each fan base hates the most. Starting off with Arizona, and this is hilarious. It's Kyler Murray, who's been their quarterback for the last several years. Obviously, he signed with Minnesota in the offseason and is fighting for a job there with 9, J.J. McCarthy. And it's funny that Arizona fans have picked him as the most hated. And if you know anything about football, you know that Kyler Murray has had quite an up and down career. And there were heavy rumors going into this offseason that we being the Steelers, that the Steelers would be interested. I was not one of those people. I do understand that when Kyler Murray is on, he's on. But boy, when he's off, he's off. And because he's such a smaller player that he gets hurt a lot. He's just, to me, he's not worth it. So I understand Arizona's animosity towards that guy. Atlanta, we go to Kirk Cousins. Again, that one kind of baffles me. I know Kirk has kind of a bad reputation for falling apart on nationally televised primetime games, but Kirk had some really good years in Atlanta. If anything, maybe they hate him because of the fact that he was so good at negotiating contracts that he milked that franchise for a boatload of money, considering his place in the quarterback hierarchy. It's hard to believe how much money that man has racked up in guarantees. Absolutely insane. Moving forward, Baltimore. I can't even see that. That's written so small. Let me blow this one up. Baltimore's starting guard, who actually is not a guard there anymore. They got rid of him. I believe his name is Brandon Faeli. And yeah, that dude was a turnstile. So I kind of understand Baltimore's hate with him. Now, God damn it, Ryan. I just said we weren't going to talk politics. But yeah, he's immunized, remember? Moving on to Buffalo. This makes perfect sense that their most hated player is Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes has been the Buffalo killer when it comes to the postseason. Carolina, Von Miller. That one I don't really get. Von Miller played most of his time in Denver. I don't know why Carolina would hate Von Miller like that. Chicago, again, Aaron Rodgers. That is 100% justified, because his time in Green Bay, he absolutely destroyed Chicago and made sure that they knew about it. Cincinnati, TJ Watt, again, makes perfect sense. He has terrorized that organization since he came in the league back in 2017. Cleveland, Deshaun Watson. That's funny. He has basically robbed them of $230 million. And I can't remember the total amount of games that he's played in Cleveland, but he's not given them, I don't believe, a full season's worth yet for that insanely large contract. It's not so bad anymore as much as it was when they signed him, but he's still making way more money than he ever should. Dallas Cowboys, Jalen Hurts, again, division rival, makes sense. I'm still not in on Jalen Hurts. He's been too inconsistent. I know they just kind of switched things up offensively. Got rid of A.J. Brown sent him to New England. He was a big cause of some of the rift there. So it'll be interesting to see how Jalen performs this year now that the quote-unquote cancer has been removed from the locker room. Denver Broncos, Patrick Mahomes, again, division rival, makes perfect sense. Same thing with Detroit Lions in their hatred of Aaron Rodgers. Spent a long time with Green Bay, obviously owned that division for a very long time. Makes perfect sense. Green Bay, Caleb Williams. That's fair, even though Caleb's only been there a couple years. There's a lot of hype there, and Caleb beat him twice last year. Excuse me, including the late season game where, Chicago was dead in the water. Green Bay absolutely just gave that game away. Houston, Taylor. I'm not sure who that would be. Who's a Taylor that would play against Houston? Oh, Taylor from Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, kind of makes sense. Colts haven't really had a quarterback to hate or any other superstar, and nobody else in the division has really given them any problems. Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson, that's fair. Invested a 5th-round pick on him and famously quit on the team year before last, and then that's what caused them to go out and get Daniel Jones. Jacksonville Jaguars, Calvin Ridley, fair. Overpaid. Kansas City, Joe Burrow. Kind of makes sense because Burrow did knock them out of the playoffs, even though Kansas City seemed to always have the upper hand in the regular season. KC somehow, some way, had their number a couple times in the playoffs. Raiders, Travis Kelce. Yes, absolutely makes perfect sense. Who, for somebody watching out there, did in fact get married at Madison Square Garden to Taylor Swift. You know who I'm talking about. LA Chargers, Patrick Mahomes. Again, perfect sense. LA Rams, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't know how you hate that guy unless you're a complete anti-Ohio State fan, because dude's a stud. I'd love to have him on my squad. Miami Dolphins, Tua. I get it, but you can't fault the guy. He literally threw his body on the line for that team. Didn't always make the right decisions, but man, did that guy take some shots trying to win games in Miami. And now he's going to try and do the same for the Atlanta Falcons, which is a interesting scenario to say the least with Michael Penix down there. Again, Minnesota, Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron and Mahomes probably tied for the league of most hated on this list. New England Patriots, Josh Allen. Yes, makes sense. I tell you what, I think Drake May is gonna fall off this year. I don't know why, just kind of a hunch. Think it's gonna happen. I'm not saying that I think he's completely trash. I think that he's gonna be overhyped. They do have him some weapons, so maybe I'll be wrong on that. But they got him A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs, so that will definitely help. But he tends to turn the ball over a lot, and if he doesn't get that cleaned up in a hurry, they're going to be in trouble. New Orleans Saints, Mike Evans. Fair point. Mike Evans tied the record, I believe, for most consecutive 1,000-yard reception seasons. But he has packed up and moved on. Now he is a 49er, I believe. Excuse me. New York Giants, Saquon Barkley. I understand that, the hatred because he's an Eagle, but if the hatred is based off the fact that he left the Giants, look, the only people you got to hate about Saquon Barkley is the Giants themselves, because they let him walk. And I understand where they're coming from, because the shelf life of running back, not great in the NFL. And Saquon did have kind of a history of injuries, but he's been a stud with Philly, so it's fair. New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers. I don't really understand that one. Aaron Rodgers blew his Achilles out third play of the season in his debut, and damn near came back that season. Would have been the most unheard of injury return ever. He could have played had they been in playoff contention, but probably wasn't a good idea, as we saw the following year. But we also knew after the fact that whole organization was in shambles when you had, a 19, 20-year-old kid basically calling the shots. So, yeah, hate your organization, but Aaron Rodgers gave you what he could give you. Philadelphia Eagles, A.J. Brown, makes perfect sense. Caused a lot of issues there that essentially got him traded to New England. Be fun to see how that works out with Mike Vrabel there being kind of a no-nonsense coach. Pittsburgh, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I could say that. For a very long time, I was very anti-Lamar Jackson. Did not think he would ever really be an elite quarterback. And to be fair, hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. He has some MVPs. But yeah, that's fair. But again, hard for me to hate a guy when we've been so successful against him. The numbers don't lie there. San Francisco 49ers, their hatred goes to Reddick. I'm assuming Hassan Reddick. Not sure what the backstory with that is. Seattle Seahawks, Puka Nacua. Yeah, I understand that. A guy that literally came out of nowhere and is now, I think it's fair to say, top 5 wide receivers in the NFL. Tampa Bay, Lattimore, cornerback for the Saints, has been pretty volatile, been involved in more than one scuffle on the field, so I can understand the hatred there. Tennessee, also A.J. Brown, which is funny, but I mean, he gave them some good years, and I don't blame him for leaving when he did, because at the time they didn't really have a team around him. That was, Vrabel did the best he could, but they never really had a solid quarterback. I don't blame AJ for getting out of there and going to a winner like Philadelphia, won a Super Bowl. Washington Redskins, the Saquon Barkley, makes sense. He's been kicking Washington's ass from 2 different teams in the same division since he came to the league. So there you have it. There is the player that each fan base hates the most. Little fun thing to kick this little show off with. All right. So again, I would ask that you subscribe, like, follow on whatever platform that you are currently watching me on, and just keep an eye on things, because again, I don't have a schedule. I can imagine that there'll be a lot of days where I do go live on either Saturday or Sunday, sometimes both, for the simple fact that I'm going to be on those days anyway with either Unscripted or Steel City Renegades. So I might just keep the camera rolling and go from there, depending on what we have to talk about. Might even go on tonight during SummerSlam, just to kind of give my play-by-play. That is another thing I plan to do, is some reaction content. That's obviously it's a big thing right now, and if everybody else can do it, hell, why not me? So, but we'll do some live streams where we watch along with some events, some wrestling stuff. Probably won't do Sunday night, even though that's the best night of SummerSlam, but my current work schedule has my old ass in bed by like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, but depending on what's going on tonight, I may jump on and do a live stream while SummerSlam is on. May also jump on in the next day or two and give a review of the movie that I'm going to go see today. Very excited about Spider-Man, brand new day. Looks like it is already off to a great start, despite what happened last night. 75 million on a preview opening. is, I believe, on pace to set a record, and that's incredible. Now, if you have a X account or Twitter for us old guys, it leaked. The entire movie leaked online. And I can, in fact, confirm that because my body clock is fucked up. And I woke up at 12:30 and got up because I was wide awake, got up, watched the little TV, did the doom scroll thing. You know how that goes. And I came across the entire movie. I am proud to say I did not watch anything past the opening. I think I clicked in the middle one time just to confirm that it was actually the movie. And yeah, the scene that was on the screen was definitely not any Spider-Man movie I have seen, but it was definitely Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So yeah, the entire movie leaked on Twitter, and I hope not too many people did that. I mean, come on, that's the kind of movie that you got to experience in the theaters. And Marvel has not been great as of late. They've been pretty hit and miss. And this is Sony, but all the early reviews that I'm seeing, it was tough. Now, I'm not going to lie. I almost did. Truth be told, had it not been so late, I may have, but I also knew that I was going to see it today. And while, let me put it this way, if let's just say I go and I see it today, and I got home and like tomorrow or Sunday I go to work and somebody leaked it on there, I would probably do that. I would definitely watch that version or that for the second time. But movies that big, and I'm obviously big into the whole comic book genre. I like to see, especially if it's characters that I like to see that in the big screen, experience it there. But had I not already had tickets to see it today, and had I not, had it not been so late at night, I probably would have been the same way, to be completely honest. So excited to see it. Going to check it out, and we'll get on here and we'll talk about it. I'll do my absolute very best to not give out too many spoilers, because there's nothing. I've already had a couple plot points spoiled for me, and I'm not happy about it. But to be honest, they were plot points that I kind of expected and or figured out on my own. But we'll talk about those on another day. So. All right, well, I did not really anticipate being on here for 30 minutes, but sometimes I get rambling. So for those of you that tuned in, I appreciate it. Please, again, like, follow, subscribe, share, whatever your current platform is that allows you to do. We're going to do this a lot. Nell, if you want to get on at some point and do some 2K stuff with me, literally all you need is a cell phone and some earbuds. And we can kind of dive into this whole 2K thing. I know that you're kind of on the same wagon as me as far as kind of in the anti-2K right now. We could do a whole thing, maybe get the entire Flop City crew on here and do a round table about what we like and don't like about 2K. And I got to tell you, Nell, I'm really nervous about GTA just because the whole Take-Two interactive. But again, I can devote a whole show to that and probably will so soon. Anyway, again, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and cut this short today, but I encourage you to stick around. Go to the Redline Radio Network channel on the Red Icon app. We are going to be gearing up for Unscripted here in about 30 minutes. And if you are a Steeler fan, check us out tomorrow morning for Steel City Renegades. And that'll be every Sunday, probably around the same time, but there might be some fluctuation there. And we'll go from there. So again, appreciate you guys coming by. Catch us on Unscripted here in about 30 minutes, and catch me the next time that I hop on. I don't know when the hell that'll be, but hopefully sometime soon. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you soon.
You're watching the Red Line Radio Network.